YouTube, what is good? Finn Newgen back with another video. And for those of you that are completely new on this channel, you will notice that this is a completely new style of video in which I'm creating here and hopefully going to be creating a lot more of. Now, like I said in a previous video, I want to be delivering content to you all that is valuable, that you can learn something from, which you can hopefully apply to your lives in order to perform better day to day, to live a better quality of life, and to live an overall healthier life. So this more long form style of video is going to be based around topics such as health and fitness, self-help, motivation, etc, etc. Now, by no means am I some form of business guru, life coach, or anything like that, but I feel like with being someone that has put in the work across the years, that has suffered with things to do with mindset, like procrastination, lack of motivation, to have bounced back from a serious health issue, being able to have turned everything around within the space of a year, to have taken my passion project full time with online coaching, now working for one of, if not the biggest UK male transformation coaching brands, which is Newgen Coaching. I feel like I do have some wisdom to pass on when it comes to this stuff. So hopefully you guys like this style of content. Let me know what you think of it, of course. Today we're going to be talking about how to work without the motivation. So we all know that feeling. You're sat at your desk, you're ready to work. There's so much in which you want to get done today, so much in which you want to get done this week. This year is going to be your year, you keep telling yourself, but for some reason you can't do it. You can't seem to get it done. So what do? You may turn on a motivational YouTube video or a motivational podcast in order to ramp up that motivation prior to going into your first work block of the day. That doesn't work. So maybe you turn on the PS5, maybe you turn on the Xbox just to sharpen up your brain a little bit. That still doesn't work. So what do? Grab a snack, have a little lie down. Before you know it, you're death scrolling for hours upon end. And before you know it, you've lost a huge portion of work. You've lost a huge portion of the day due to doing absolutely fuck all. Does that sound like you? Because it certainly sounds like me. So let me help, right? By no means, like I said, am I any form of self-help coach, business guru. There's certainly aspects of my life in which I want to improve on and which I'm still improving on. I still got goals when it comes to business, my physique, my life, but these are 5 habits and mindset shifts in which I've applied in order to help me get the work done when I'm not feeling motivated to do it. So, first and foremost, you have been lied to. So I used to think that one day I would just wake up and things would just start to click into place, that I would start all of a sudden being really confident and assertive in decisions in which I made, that things would just start coming to me, and that my moment will come. I just have to be patient. This is not how it works, right? You are not just all of a sudden going to pick up momentum doing the same shit in which you have always been doing. If you want the things that others have, it is going to be an ugly fucking grind. Wake up and expect things to be hard. Do not expect things to be easy, because they will not. So I am someone that has certainly fallen victim to this. I remember when I first started my personal training business, I started working at a Pure Gym, and prior to that I had been amongst the fitness scene for a little while. Not really a face of the fitness scene at all, although I did think I was a bit of a face around the local area at the time for competing in a few small time fitness model comps. So because of that, because no one was really doing that in my area at that point, I thought that I would open up my books as a personal trainer and I would just have clients absolutely flooding through the door wanting to be trained by me, just because I stood on stage with a pair of budgie smugglers on and some fake tan. Certainly was not the case, unfortunately, and I certainly had a rude awakening in realising that, oh shit, actually this personal training game is quite competitive and I'm actually going to have to put in the graft in order to build up a clientele, which no doubt I did. And it was hard. I certainly had to network a lot on the gym floor, get my face out there, start posting regularly on social media. I started this YouTube channel in the process as well. And I ended up building a profitable personal training business, right, that I eventually did take full time with online coaching. But even during that, I was putting in the work just to stay afloat and earn a little bit more money. So all the time I was personal training, I had a second job, I had a side hustle. First one being the fire service. I was an on-call firefighter for a short period of time, which was hard. You know, it was hard to be able to build that personal training business while you also had a side hustle as well, in which you had to put the work in for. With the fire service, I was on call, so I used to be on call overnight, usually like 7 p.m. to around about 7 a.m. But if you got called out at say 1 a.m., you'd probably be on a job for a few hours, maybe even less than that, if it was a minor call, and then you'd be able to go home and go back to sleep prior to actually starting your full-time job, right? Which each and every on-call firefighter still has a full-time job. There was a lot of like tradesmen there. I think there was someone that was in retail. But either way, I put it in terms like that because you do not go back to sleep after you get called out and your pager goes off and you have to be to the station or be at the station within 5 minutes, should I say. So say for example I got called out at 1 a.m. and then I was on a job for a few hours, and then I came home and had to be at the gym for 6-7 a.m. to even open up the gym or train clients. Virtually lost a whole night of sleep. After I decided to leave the fire service, I still wanted a second job. I decided the fire service wasn't for me. I wanted something to keep me on my toes a little bit more, because good jobs in which you got in the fire service were few and far between. It was very dull and very boring, I would say, at least for me. So what did I decide to do? I came up with the genius idea of doing some waitering part-time. And I used to work at a busy bar in Canterbury, where I worked from around about 4 p.m. till about 2 a.m. Sometimes I got let off a little earlier if I was lucky. And bearing in mind, again, I had to be up at, and at the gym for either 6 or 7 a.m. in order to either open the gym or train clients. Even if I got let go a little bit early from the bar, say I got let go at 12:30 a.m., I may just about get a 4-hour block to sleep before I needed to be up again and ready and at the gym, right? So that was pretty much my life. It was 6 nights a week at that bar, working each and every day at the gym, because I would open the gym on the weekends and then I would train clients throughout the week. So my life was very much go, go, go. But I did what I needed to do in order to stay afloat, in order to keep that money coming in, where I was able to invest into business coaches, into education courses, which would help me build up my knowledge and give me all the fundamentals in which I needed to be a very good personal trainer, online coach, and learn everything in which I needed to do in order to run a profitable business, right? So I've certainly put the work in across the years, and it was a hard fucking grind. But one thing that I did not do was expect it to be easy. It was not easy. But now I've been able to take that passion project full time with online coaching, like I mentioned, working for one of the biggest men's lifestyle transformation coaching brands in the UK, and somewhat earning a decent living out of it. So do not fucking expect it to be easy, expect it to be hard. Now, number 2, again, stop expecting it to be easy, right? So if it was easy to build a successful business, everyone would have one. If it was easy to build a big YouTube channel, everyone would have one. Trust me, I'm not where I want to be with YouTube yet. You've seen my subscribers. I'm certainly not where I want to be. I want to be able to reach out to a much larger audience. So that is something in which I'm doing. I've been inconsistent with this in the past, I'm not going to lie, but now I'm looking to create better content, more valuable content, in order to reach out to a larger audience and be able to help more people. If it was easy to have lots of money, everyone would be a millionaire. If it was easy to have the hot girlfriend, then everyone would have one. But it's not. Growing and improving is hard. So how do you build this identity, and how do you become that tough motherfucker that just gets the work done? And that is by doing tough things, right? So for example, cold showers. I do a cold shower each and every morning just to build up that mental toughness, to do something which I really do not want to do, because trust me, it's horrible, but I come out of it feeling ramped up, feeling motivated, feeling ready to work and ready to execute for the day. Cardio. I do 20 minutes fasted cardio each and every morning, 7 days a week. and I fucking hate it. I could not think of anything that you know, I could not think of anything that I would want to do less than cardio first thing in the morning, right? I absolutely hate it, but I do it because I see it as a battle first thing in the morning. And once I've won that first battle by completing my cardio, then each and every battle throughout the remainder of the day becomes that much easier. So these days are far and few between for me, but I may have days where I sit in front of my laptop and I'm like, fuck doing check-ins. Like, look at this huge list of check-ins in which I've got to get done today. Fuck doing that. Fuck hitting the gym later for a leg session. Fuck creating that YouTube video or that IG content or posting on TikTok, whatever it may be. Those days, like I said, are few and far between, but because I've already won that battle in my head by completing my cardio first thing in the morning, the rest of them battles become easier throughout the rest of the day. But again, things like weight training or some form of martial art or fighting, right? These are things in which you can do as well. And not just weight training and rock up to the gym and get a little pump on the weights. Go in and actually fucking train hard. When you turn up to a boxing gym or an MMA gym, actually sparring and doing something that is hard, that is going to build that mental toughness. And again, when you've won them battles in your head by doing something in which you do not want to do, the rest of the battles come easier throughout the rest of the day. And there's actually a part of our brain called the anterior mid-cingulate cortex. And I learned this off a podcast in which I listened to. It was an Andrew Huberman podcast where he was interviewing David Goggins, and Andrew Huberman spoke about recent studies on a part of your brain called the anterior mid-cingulate cortex, which is essentially the realm of willpower. And it's particularly larger in people that see themselves as challenged or have overcome some form of adversity. So by doing the things in which you do not want to do, and remember that part of it is right, the things in which you do not want to do. So for example, I do not want to do my cardio, but I do it anyway. Your anterior mid-cingulate cortex grows larger, therefore giving you more willpower, therefore giving you the ability to be able to get your head down and do the fucking work when you don't want to do it. So again, listen to that podcast if you haven't. I'll see if I can link it in the description below, but it was a phenomenal podcast. I listened to that throughout a few fasted cardio sessions. My fasted cardio was 40 minutes fasted each and every morning when I was on prep, so a 2-hour podcast like that I could listen to across a few cardio sessions. So yeah, I think it's I pretty much near have completed Andrew Huberman and Chris Williamson's podcast Modern Wisdom, and I think it's Huberman Labs, is it? Yeah, I've virtually listened to everything worth listening to on either of those podcasts. So yeah, it gets you through cardio a little bit easier. So yeah, give that a listen if you haven't already. So this is number 3. Fuck being busy. So there is something satisfying about feeling busy. Feeling like we have 1,000,001 things to get done, but realistically, are we actually getting very far in any of them? Probably not. So I listened to another podcast, this one, Modern Wisdom, Chris Williamson. He done a podcast with Tim Ferriss, and Tim Ferriss was talking about single tasking, right? And he said, if you can single task for 2-3 hours a day, you will be ahead of 90% of people. Now, rather than having 1,000,001 things to do, take action on the things that are high leverage and that are going to play a big factor into your success. So I'm an online coach. What are going to be the things in which are high leverage for me and going to be a big factor to my success? Well, first and foremost, check-ins, right? Making sure that I'm getting back to clients as soon as what I possibly can, putting energy into their check-in responses, giving them good quality check-in responses, making sure that I'm touching base with them throughout the week. These are high leverage tasks for me, right? Keeping clients happy. Secondly, content creating. By creating good quality content, being consistent on things like my Instagram story, posting 5 to 10 times a day on that, posting daily on my Instagram feed, posting 1 to 2 times per week on YouTube. These things are going to be high leverage tasks because I'm going to be able to reach out to a larger audience if my quality of content is better, therefore being able to help more people. So on the days in which I'm filming, for example, like today, I'm filming this video and I'm also filming a YouTube vlog. This is the only thing in which I'm going to do and focus on. So not only create a better quality video, but to actually get more done. On the days in which I'm doing check-ins, so for example, my busiest check-in days are always Monday to Wednesday. I don't do any check-ins on a Thursday, which is today, but I have check-ins on a Friday and a Saturday. But when I am doing check-ins on the Monday, that is the main task in which I need to get done that day. That is the task that I'm going to single task on until it is done. So for that first work block of the day, that first 2 to 3 hours, it is nothing but check-ins. I'm not checking my phone. I'm not scrolling through Instagram. I'm not posting on my stories. I'm not doing anything like that. I'm simply single tasking on my check-ins and getting them done first. Therefore, you get a hell of a lot more done. You're not distracted, and you can perform better day to day, right? So single task on the things that are going to be high leverage to you and be a big factor to your success. So number 4, change your state. There are going to be days where you're sat there procrastinating, not being able to focus, trying not to allow yourself to get distracted, but you keep falling off task. Does that sound like you? Because it certainly sounds like me. Even yesterday, when I was sat there trying to create this video in the evening, trying to create the PowerPoint and come up with these ideas, I just couldn't do it. I was sat in front of the laptop, had a tremendous amount of brain fog, and I just could not seem to focus and get the work done. So in this case, what did I do? I did something that removed me from that environment and changed my mental state. 3 of my favourite things in this situation is go for a walk. If I'm sat in front of the laptop and I'm completely brain fried and I'm not getting anything done, then what I would do is just take myself out of that environment, go for a walk, get some steps. I may stick on a podcast, I may not listen to anything, I may just completely clear my headspace so that way I can come back into work and be more productive and get more done. Secondly, cold shower. I don't really do this halfway through the day, but I do this at the start of the day, like I mentioned, just to really ramp myself up and get myself feeling energized in order to go into that first work block of the day. Or one of my favorites, hit the gym for a heavy weight workout. Now I train at the same time each and every day, or each and every training day should I say, usually around about 12 to 1 p.m. There's a reason for that, because I'm usually at the laptop at 9 a.m. after I've done my cardio, my 10 pages of reading. Recently started doing some meditation as well. And once I've had my cold shower, I'm usually at my laptop by 9. After the first 3-4 hours of that work block, or the 3-4 hours of that first work block of the day, I'm absolutely brain fried right through, going through check-ins, tying up any loose knots in which need to be addressed or anything like that. By the time I've worked for that 3-4 hours, I'm absolutely done. So what do? I go to the gym and I hit a heavy workout. I refresh my brain, right? I make sure that I'm doing something which is completely taking my mind away from work, which is being at the gym. So that way I can come back into work and I can be productive for the remainder of that day, and I can tick off the rest of the task in which I need to get that done that day. So a lot of the time, when you are sat in front of the laptop, maybe you're feeling a tremendous amount of brain fog, you're not feeling productive, you keep falling off task, just take yourself out of that environment to change that mental state. Number 5, turn up like a pro. So picture any athlete at the top of their sport rocking up to a game. Whether that's Cristiano Ronaldo, maybe Steph Curry. Who's that guy that's smashing it at the minute in NFL? Patrick Mahomes, I think his name is, the quarterback. Picture them rocking up to a game. Even take Olympics 2024, for example. So as you're watching this right now, the Olympics 2024 is being held in Paris. Did anyone see the way that Noah Lyles rocked up to the 100 meter and 200 meter sprint? The energy in which that guy was carrying was absolutely phenomenal. He was dialed in, he was focused, he was ready to execute and perform at his best. right? Even in the interview, he said something about, I'm going to bring that main character energy. When I started this YouTube channel and my coaching business, I treated it like a side passion project. How do you think you're going to perform at something if you look at it as a side passion project or a side hustle? If you see it as, oh, you know what, well, this would be cool if it worked out, but you know, it doesn't really matter if it doesn't. When you turn up to work or your side hustle or anything in life, the gym, anything, turn up like a pro. Because then even if you are stuck and can't find the motivation, you have no other option than to just put your head down and do the work. So, sixth and final point now, giving you a little bit of a bonus point here, and that is create urgency in your mind. So the way in which I've got to where I am now is because I've constantly created urgency in my mind. Whether that's I've set myself certain goals, created deadlines in which I wanted to achieve them goals by, and then created that urgency in order to make me a little bit more productive and work harder and have that little bit more of a kick up the arse towards achieving that goal within that deadline. Just a few examples here, whether that's I want to pick up 2 more clients by the end of this week, otherwise this week has gone to shit, it has been wasted. I want to have X amount of subscribers by the end of the year, otherwise this year's been a complete fucking failure. You get the point I'm making. It's a little bit dangerous to have this mindset, but it can be extremely effective. I truly believe within myself that I get some of my most productive, I have some of my most productive working periods when I put myself under pressure and I create that urgency in my mind in order to either reach a certain deadline or achieve a certain goal within that deadline. One thing that I will say is try not to get too emotionally attached to achieving that goal within the deadline though. If you have set yourself a goal and you've given yourself a deadline to achieve that within, even if you don't quite achieve that goal and you don't quite reach the target in which you wanted to hit, if you've still managed to progress and you're still further ahead than what you were prior to setting that goal, then that's still somewhat a success, right? But the point I'm making here is don't let yourself off the hook and be gentle with yourself. Create that urgency, set that goal, set that deadline to achieve that goal by, and do the fucking work. So that is everything there. Thank you for watching, and again, please let me know what you thought of this new style of video. Hopefully you've learned something from this, you've taken some value from this, and you can apply this to your life now in order to get you performing better day to day. Another thing that will have you performing better day to day is leveling up your physique. I truly believe that with a strong body comes a strong mind, and if you want help achieving an elite level physique, then I will leave a link below in the description for my online coaching services. But other than that, that is everything from me. I will see you in the next one. Like, share, subscribe, and if you haven't gone all in yet, then this is your sign to do so. Take care. God bless.